do a fantastic shaker card with the baubles. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do the shaker with the baubles. But actually, when I made this one, I then had to think and thought, oh, well, that's no good because all my baubles have sunk to the bottom. So I'm going to show you a technique where you can get the baubles to stay up in the middle of each one. Now, this is one of those die sets. So there's two different types of dies in this collection. Some that do the scenes and some that do the layering. So the bauble is one of the ones that is fabulous for layering. So if you look at it on one side, really doesn't look overly exciting. But then when you look on the other side, this is going to give you all of the intricate outline. But then can you see, you think, well, hang on, I can see some of the baubles from behind on the front. What's all that about? They are the supports from the other underside of the die. So it'll all make sense. When you start using them, you'll realise that we can't have this big of an open space without the support behind because the dies here won't cut as effectively. So to get them to cut effectively, you see, we have the supports on both sides. Now, for anyone who's just joining, wants me to run through that sandwich combination again, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use a plain gold centura with the baubles for the outline. And then for the detail in here, I'm going to go into a glitter card. Now, because the glitter card is really intricate, what we're going to do is we're then going to add our metal plate onto this side so that we're cutting into the glitter card with the intricate die cuts with the metal plate there. So the sandwich combination that you need, okay, is your base cutting plate and your double-sided. Then we've got our metal plate with your die cut design in there and then the top piece on. Then your other double-sided die plate and your other top cutting plate. So basically, double-sided dies are a sandwich in a sandwich in a sandwich. There you die in the cardstock sandwich. That is then in your double-sided die plate sandwich. That is then in a sandwich of the clear plate. But at least it's the same on both sides, basically, is the easiest way that I try and remember them. And then we're going to lift that out and just pop out all those little bits. So can you see it looks a little bit weird, Joe, when you look at it there. However, as I just get my pokey tool and pop out them bits, you'll see that it's literally just the supports. Now, again, all these little pieces, they just pop out. Because we use the metal shim, even though it's really intricate, look, they do all pop out nice and easily. And these stars would be fabulous to use inside your shaker bits and pieces if you want. So don't be wasting them if you don't need to. I'm going to use some of the shakers from the rose gold collection. See that we've got some gorgeous shakers there now. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just gently easing where we've got quite intricate dies here. I'm just gently easing around the die to make sure that we do release everything, but that I don't bend any of these little pieces. So here, for example, poke down on the bit that's coming out and try to go as directly down as possible, and that way you're not going to catch any of these areas. Even though it's glitter card and it's quite strong, where you've got the finer pieces, I don't want you to think, you know, oh, we might damage the cardstock there or whatever, because this way, I promise you that you won't. Watch this, I'm going to pop this straight onto, I've cut a piece of acetate, and I've already put the shaker foam on the back of the acetate around the outside, and I'm going to pop this first piece straight on down there, right? So you can see where that's stuck really, really well. Now, because we're going on to glitter card, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my really, really strong, just to make sure that we never get any loose out of this, okay? I'm going to pop this down here, the very, very fine. This is why we do a very fine red liner tape, Joe. You can see there, it's gone perfectly around the outside and you won't get any showing on the underside. Right, I'm just trying to go in here with my, there we go. The red liner tape is so sticky that you want to, come on, I'm trying to lift this up and now my fingers are stuck to it on the left hand side. Look at this, I'm literally all fingers and thumbs, there we go. But it's just because I want to make sure that these stick really, really well. So we've got that lovely stick there. With the bits inside, I would say less important, so I'm going to use then my dotty tape pen just to make sure that I've got tape everywhere stuck in the middle.
Sandra said she's made a couple of boxes, Sarah, and what she's been doing is all of the pokey out bits, she puts them in her boxes and then just keeps them back for little bits and bobs of other projects, which is a really nice thing to do. So really no waste whatsoever, which is a fantastic idea.
That's the way to do it. Everything will come in handy somewhere. Now look at that, you see. That has come across perfectly, right? Now, I've already put the shaker across the back. However, I want to now segment all of this off. So what I'm going to do is I've got some shaker foam tape. Got some somewhere. I've put it somewhere safe. Here it is. Yep. So safe. Right here, ready. Right? And I'm going to segment off these different areas. Now, when you're doing it, make sure you don't go through any of the gaps, right? So watch, I'm coming right up to the end there, and I'm going to just trim that before we get to the top. And then make sure when I start this one here that you don't go through where you've got like that clear bit. Are you with this? Where you've got your acetate behind, because you don't want to be able to see your shaker foam from elsewhere. So let's have a look. I'm going to go down with this piece, and we're going to come down to there, and you're a separate little one there as well. And then I'm going to pop another little one just going up here, and I'm going to have to be really careful to make sure, there we go, that we don't get it shown in that little window gap there. Does that make sense there? Because I want you to turn it over and not be able to see any of the shaker foam. So now I've just got to do that wonderful task of peeling all the backs off my foam. I'm going to take all of these bits off here. What I'm trying to do is be really gentle and not get them over top of any of my foam, right? It'll be a miracle if I do, Joe, because Careful's not exactly my middle name, is it not?
Careful?
Yes.
No, have you got a middle name?
Anne.
Anne.
Interestingly, Sara Ann, not very careful Davies. There we go. Look, I've got a tiny little bit on the corner here, so you just need to make. There we go. So we'll get that lifted off. Plenty of sequins in there because you want a really nice shake. And look, I'm just going to go for it. Stick this over the back and then trim it down afterwards. So get all that sealed in. Wonderful, right? And then I'm just going to trim this. So I did the card a little bit bigger than I needed to, so that I could go and just trim it off afterwards. But you can see now, like you said, Joe, each one of those baubles looks individually contained with all its own little bits of shakers inside there. How amazing is that? So you've got baubles, don't you get stuck there. I've got a lot of them in this part here. Sometimes it just needs a good shake to get it going. There we go. And then to put that onto the card, I've actually kept the card really, really simple. So I've just got a side opening card, like a left side opening here. You don't need an awful lot when you shake a card. When you shake a bit to look that awesome, Joe, you don't need to do an awful lot to the rest of the card. You're just going to have a nice plain, I've gone with like rose gold on gold glitter card here. That is going to go, should we raise that up a little bit? Got some nice 3D foam pads. I think we'll just give it a little bit of a raise up there as well. Right, I'm going to use a little globule of glue gel onto the back here. It's going to need to be quite a big piece of glue gel, because obviously we're going to need to balance off those foam pads that we've got there. And there is my multiple shaker all in a card. So if you've always wondered how to do that, that's how you can kind of create the illusion and have glitters, have shakers in each one, but actually inside it's nowhere near as complicated as you would think it would be, is it not?